Right, good morning, everybody. I'm Phil Evans. I'm the Managing Director of Salon Guru, and I'm joined today by Sarah. Are you there?
I'm here. Good morning, everyone. I'm the client director. Many of you will have got to know me over the years, I'm sure. So, hello.
So Sarah and I are going to run this kind of webinar, but we want to try and keep it nice and informal, like a chat today. We're going to share our knowledge, our expertise. It'll probably last about 30 to 40 minutes. There'll be a questions and answers at the end. The webinar is being recorded so that all the people that are registered and can't make this time, we can send a copy to. There's about 120 people registered. We'll also send some kind of free guides and links to some of the things we're going to mention. So don't worry too much about making lots of notes, because hopefully we'll be sending you a recording and some really useful guides afterwards. Probably not today, because I want to do a little bit more work on some of the guides, but in the next couple of days. So Sarah and I are going to talk a bit. We're also going to do some real live examples. We're going to show you things, and we're going to go into quite a lot of details. But I think an important place to start is, who is Salon Guru and why can we talk this way? What gives us the authority to sit here and talk in this way? So I created the company 20 years ago. There's about 24 of us now work for the company, all across the UK, Europe, and North America. We have salon clients. We only work in this industry. We only do hair, beauty salons, and aesthetic clinics. And we work everywhere where people speak English. So we've got lots of clients in the UK, all over the US, many places in Ireland, Australia, Canada, the Middle East. And if you want to see where our clients are, go on our website, salonguru.net. There's a client tab. There's an interactive map. You can go and see everybody and visit their websites. So 20 years ago, we started the company up. We started with salon websites with a company in Liverpool who are still our client 20 years later. And from that one client, we've now got 230 plus around the world, and all sizes of salons, from chair renters in America to big groups with multiple locations. Hair and beauty, hair aesthetics, hair extension specialists, training schools, everything to do with the salon and clinic industry. From websites, we quickly grew into Google SEO, because that's a very important part of getting the websites to the top of Google search. So we've been doing this for 20 years and we're good at it. I would say almost unrivaled in our expertise in salon websites, digital marketing, SEO. Nobody else, I think, in the world has the amount of experience we've got. We then moved into Google profiles, which is another thing we're going to touch on today. As a website alone no longer is the answer to Google and search. So we're going to look at some Google profiles. Online advertising, we do a lot of Google AdWords and Meta, social media posting, blog writing, client emails, recruitment, and everything else that the salons ask us to do. If it's to do with marketing online, we're seen as their marketing department and we help them. But today, move to the next slide, what we're going to cover today are the really dramatic changes that are happening to local search. And this is being driven primarily by AI. I'm going to do some history on what search used to look like, but I think what I want you to leave today with an understanding of quite how much has changed and the opportunity and the challenge that brings for all of us. There are enormous opportunities and it's quite challenging, and we're going into some detail on that. I want to show you how you can see your research results. So something you can do yourself. Once you leave the webinar, go and do some testing of how does your business appear locally. It's very important that you know how well you appear. And then the solution. I want to, again, give you the answers today. These things you can do yourself. I'm not going to keep anything back. We're going to show you how we dominate local search for our clients. You, of course, can go and do this yourself. Most of our clients don't do it because they're so busy that they ask us to do it, and we do it on a constant rolling basis. So that's what I'm going to cover today. And this was my ending slide, but I wanted to perhaps make this statement at the beginning. What I'm going to cover today, what we're going to cover today, it seems like a lot of work. It is a lot of work, but it is a massive opportunity. Because if you are the first salon or clinic in your town or city that does this and does it well, we're going to demonstrate just how enormous the rewards can be. The amount of traffic, the amount of clients that can flow from this. If you dominate, I mean, you're everywhere on all the local searches. If you are always the answer to the question, you can get a lot of business, and we're going to show you that. So let's start with the beginnings, and we're going to go do some live searching in a minute, but I wanted to give you some background. What's actually changed with search? The old way, and when I say old, this is going back just 5 years, when you typed something into Google, it gave you a list of websites. That was it. You got a list of the websites that Google thought had the answer. So you said, the best salon near me for hair extensions, or Botox prices, Liverpool, or hair extensions, Tampa, Florida. Whatever you typed in, it would give you a list of websites that Google thought gave you the best answer. And you'd go off and click and visit some of them. Then some years back, probably about 5 or 6 years back, Google introduced Google Profiles, or they called it at the time the Map Pack. Then they changed it to Google My Business and business listings. But now everybody tends to call them Google Profiles. That now comes up first, or it was coming up first till a few weeks ago. When you type something into Google, often what you'll see, particularly on a mobile phone, is that map and 3 local businesses. Sometimes 4, sometimes 5. Google is never 100% the same, but typically 3 businesses on a map. So the websites, still vitally important, but the Google Business Profile now became a new thing that we had to optimize your SEO, your search engine. So we're going to cover that in a minute. But today, now, it's changed again, and it's constantly changing. I think the speed of change is just going to get faster. Now, when you type something into Google, and we'll show you examples, you'll often get Google AI mode starting, and it will try and give you the answer. And we'll show you how that works. Because what Google really wants is for you to not leave Google. It wants you to stay on the Google screen, get your answers, read them, do them, because they can then show you adverts. And Google earns money that way. So ideally for Google, they're going to get as much information and give you the answer without you leaving. So we're going to show some examples of that. So to dominate search now, you need more than just a great website. I know today there's a lot of our clients on this call, on this webinar, which is great. And there are a lot of people who are not Salon Guru clients who may not have met us before. So I'm going to try and give 2 kind of answers to this. For our clients, they already probably are getting towards the point of having a great optimized SEO website that is all over the search engines. What we're doing is saying for our clients, the step beyond is your Google profile, and the step beyond that is the AI search results. If you're not a Salon Guru client, you need to be looking possibly at your website's performance, particularly first, because the AI is something you should be fully aware of, but are you aware of your website's performance? How busy is it? How much traffic does it get? How does it rank? I'm going to return to that near the end, because I think that will give 2 different things, for a list of things to do for clients and non-Salon Guru clients at the end. So what do we do to dominate all parts of search? Let's go on to the next slide. We're going to jump straight into some searches in a minute, but I think before we did, I wanted to show you what's been happening recently. I mean, I've been doing this 20 years, so we've done everything over that time. Tried all kinds of advertising, Meta and Google and everything. I've not seen results like this before. Now, these are from long-term clients, and the note at the top shows our long-term clients, kind of 10 years plus, will often be getting 70 to 80% of all their web visits from Google. Because they're with us, they have exceptional websites, exceptional SEO. So they're already getting great traffic from Google. Those are the long-term clients. But what we've been doing with a group of about 20 salons in the last year, salons that have been with quite some time, is focusing on this new way of targeting better results, which is AI targeting. And I'm going to show you how we do this. But first, I want to show you how it works and the results it produces. So that first salon at the top has been with us 20 years. They have a new client offer that's been running decades. We've always had a new client offer at the salon, city centre, near the universities. I have a big turnaround of clients. They've been running that offer for years. They are now averaging £4,500 a week on that offer. This is a single salon. And we no longer spend any money on advertising it. We just make sure on the Google Business Profile, on the website, on the AI search, which we're going to look at, they are everywhere. So that traffic is free. They're not paying for it. And they're producing that kind of income from the new client offer. That's that average they've hit all year so far this year. 2 weeks ago, they took 5,700 in a week on the new client offer. Freshers Fair, students came back to university, big week. So that shows a result without spending money. The next one is another long-term client in London. specialize in afro and curly hair. Again, a long time with Salon Guru. The focus there has been very much on the Google profile interactions. Let me explain what those are. When you've got a Google business profile, and you'll all have one, and if you've got multiple locations, you'll have one per location. It's the map pack. It's your business listing on Google. Google can let you measure the interactions, which are, as it says there, the number of phone calls that come from your profile, the number of web clicks, and the number of people asking for directions. Because those are interactions, those are clients wanting to take the next step, call you, book you, find the website, where are you? That shows that for that client in London, over the last 6 months, their interactions are up 47%, which was 3,100 extra clients in 6 months. That's remarkable for a salon that's been with us a long time and already had great results because of their SEO and their website, to now add another layer on top of that. And I know the owner there said this is possibly the best period they've been through in all their history. The same with the one above, the city centre salon. I spoke to the owner there. He said they'd never done these kind of numbers before, and we're not spending money in adverts. The third one was a large rural salon, 12 years Salon Guru. Again, Google profile interactions, a more reasonable 25% up. But that's 1,000 clients in 6 months for another massive salon. And then the final one at the bottom, a salon chain. I think they've got 6 or 7 salons. The last 3 months, average monthly income from the new client offer, £14,500 a month. And they've only spent £220 on meta adverts in that time. So this is why we're doing it. You know, for me, doing this extra level of work and marketing and effort has to have a reward. This is the reward. It's not clicks, it's not rank, it's not traffic, it's actually money into the business. And I think that's how we all should really measure our marketing efforts. Does it make money? We could carry on showing you examples like this all morning, but this is what we have to aim for. What does the business need in terms of new income, new clients, etc.? Right, I'm going to take a little bit of a breather because Sarah's going to join us now, and Sarah and I together are going to do some Google searches, some live searches. So that means I need to change screen, share a different
Thanks,
screen.
Phil. I'll chat while you sort out the technology there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to look at some sort of live search results. We're going to look at Google AI and ChatGPT just to see what sort of results we get. So here we go on Google. Which is the best balayage salon in Halifax? And you can see the AI overview pops up straight away, and we can see Anthony James Hair Salon, one of our clients, there at the top. They are recommended as the best balayage salon in the whole of Halifax. On the right-hand side, we can see there's a lovely page all about their colour club. And then if we scroll a little bit further down, there they are. That's their website. It's got a great page and information about balayage. So it's at the top of organic Google searches. So we spend a lot of time, you know, with this client, with all of our clients, trying to make sure your content on your website is as good as it can be. And what we want from that, and there is much more to do it, as Phil will tell you later, is to make sure that we get to the top of Google, we get you seen on AI and ChatGPT searches. So that's a very good example. Now we're going to go over to America. So can we look at which salons in Columbus are hair color experts? So again, we get the AI overview, and Blondie Salon and Spa are again one of our clients. Lots of information on the left-hand side about them, and on the right-hand side again, they're picking up on blogs or pages. And then if you scroll down a little bit, Yelp's going to be there because, yeah, it's a massive directory. But there we are at the top of the organic searches. Their website is there, Expert Hair Color Salon. That's exactly what we want for many, many pages on your website. So next, right, we know that moisture in Afro hair is a big thing, big searches. So which salon has the best ways to moisturize for Afro hair types? AI overview, here we go again. Afrotherapy are one of our long-standing clients, and they are, I think, the only one mentioned there, which is fantastic, just what we want.
And nice thing, Sarah, as well. Notice
yeah,
that doesn't say London, so this is a UK-wide search now. So Afrotherapy
yeah,
are in the AI results and the featured snippet.
yeah,
And
that's right. That's a good point. Yeah, we didn't put a location in. That's actually sort of UK wide. So again, their website's there at the top. And there it is again. It's, these are impressive results, and it's because we had a lot of great content for this Afro client. Right, still with Google, we're a bit more niche. Which salon offers a psoriasis treatment in Twickenham? And there we go. This is not appearing in AI search, but it's a great website that's, it's there at the top, and that's
Well,
what we
one
want
thing
to
you'll
see.
find, but which drives us mad sometimes, 10 minutes ago, there was an AI search answer there. Now it's gone. Google is kind of testing the waters with the AI overview at the top. It'll be there 1 minute, it'll disappear, then it'll come back again. So don't be surprised you think, I'm sure I saw, because Sarah and I both looked at that answer. Right at the top of that uh, screen was an AI answer that talked about True Medispa 5 minutes ago. It'll be back in 5 minutes probably.
Yeah,
So
but nice to
bear that
see
in
it's
mind.
there
Yeah.
at number one and number three for organic searches. And if you go on, it's not all about ChatGPT or Google. There are other search tools, and if you go on there, have a little play around, your salon hopefully will show up if you're one of our clients.
There's the one, was
So
Bournemouth. Bournemouth.
yes, so next one, we've been doing a lot about autumn hair colour, so we thought we'd check out where we are with that. So autumn hair colour Bournemouth, and there is Dana Quinlan, one of our clients. Their blog is up there, but they've got an AI overview, just focusing in on one blog to do with a trend. Loads of information on when you scroll down. So, it's worth adding these blogs and making sure they've got all the right content on them. So
So
that's a
one
excellent.
one thing hopefully you'll get from this, Sarah and I are using different search terms like autumn hair colors or balayage. You should have your own list. Those services that are really important to you. There are some generic phrases like best salon, top salon, salon near me, but your services, balayage or hair color, or if you're an aesthetic clinic, it could be injectables, it could be fat freezing, lashes. Make your own list of your key phrases, either near me or in Liverpool, Tampa, Florida, wherever you are. Test different phrases, because we're just showing you some examples, and look at how you feed into, if there's an AI overview answer, which is coming, and I think there's going to be a lot more, and then the generic, what we call the organic results, websites being listed, or Google business profile listings. Let's do a
Okay, so we
couple
have a
more.
little look at Chat GPT
Yeah.
results. So top hair color salons in Liverpool. What do we get for that? Okay, so if by top color salon Liverpool you mean salons in Liverpool that are really good with hair color services, then they recommend
Voodoo.
Voodoo, which is one of our long-standing clients. Of course, they recommend more than one. We've also got Louise Fudge there, number 4 on that list.
And she's
That
not
is
even
also one of
Liverpool.
our
She's not on. She's
clients.
on the Wirral, so it
Yeah.
shows you the strength of her listing. She's actually beating most Liverpool salons. There's only 3 above her, one of which is ours anyway. So you can rank outside of your area. That's a good probably 10 or 12 miles from where she is into the centre of Liverpool.
That's brilliant. That's exactly what we want to see with all of our clients, to be honest.
Yeah.
Right, so the same search, but we're doing it on Google this time. Top colour salon Liverpool, and there's the map pack, and there's Voodoo, number 3. We want you ideally to be on that map pack, and that's your Google business profile. Clearly got an excellent Google business profile. Scroll a little bit further down. There they are again.
That's the organic
Um,
website. So it's the
yeah.
Google profile, it's the website, and it's the AI search, and it's ChatGPT. So where it used to be a list of websites, there are now all these different ways that clients are going to find you, depending what they use, where they are. So that's the key message for today, where we used to worry just about websites, and then Google profiles. Now we're going to worry about AI overview results and ChatGPT. We've got a lot of clients. I know one of them is here today, who are saying they're getting a lot of clients coming to them because of ChatGPT and other AI chatbots. So it's an important consideration.
Now, look, we've got Red Door, another of our salons. Sorry, just bragging
Yes.
now, just a little bit above.
Yeah.
So yeah, great to see. They're very, very new client as well. So that's great news. What else have we got? Right, another one on Chat GPT, best salon for hair extensions in Tampa, America. And there is Monaco, our salon for our client right at the top. Fantastic.
And
And what
one
else?
more, isn't there, for you?
One more, yeah.
And they're just
Okay.
examples of searches. You know, we could do this all day, but I think we're just trying to show you the different answers you'll get.
So this is the best place to buy wigs in Limerick, in Ireland. And Bellissimo are a client of ours, and there they are at the top. Contact details. This is exactly what people want when they're going on ChatGPT. Who's the best and how can I contact them? Great. So you can see that it works, but it does, take a bit of work for us to basically dominate these search tools, so that you're always appearing on absolutely everything from ChatGPT, AI overviews, website SEO has got to be fantastic, Google Business Profiles, and the map
Right.
pack.
So we've shown you some examples how the search has changed and different search terms, and you'll have your own, and you need to try this yourself. I think now comes the important bit. How do we do it? Because, we want to give you the information and the knowledge so you can go and do it yourself or understand it when you get somebody to do it for you. How do you completely dominate all these different avenues where results are coming from? So the most important still is your website's SEO. We've been doing this for 20 years. We are very, very good at it. We're good at getting a website to the top of Google search for hundreds of phrases. And all those ones we've shown you today, you'll have seen they were always top of the website searches. So website SEO, if you're not a Salon Guru client, is where you really should start. And I'll return to that at the end as perhaps your first steps. Website SEO is still the most important. Second most important is your Google profile and the Google reviews you get. Getting more reviews is now really critical. If you want to appear well on Google, your profile and your website, you need to get a constant flow of good reviews, 5-star reviews. Be really careful about offering incentive. We have one salon this week that's had their profile blocked for some time because they were offering some kind of incentive to clients. Somebody took a photograph of it, we think, and sent it to Google. So be careful, but encourage profiles. We're working a lot with a system called Salon Spy for many of our clients, which is a review system. That's working really well. That is boosting the number of Google reviews that many of our salons are getting, and it's key. But as well as reviews, your profile, you need to be updating it. Your Google profile weekly needs new content, needs answers to reviews, needs comments, needs photographs, needs SEO, because if you can get your profile to the top of the map search pack, be one of those top 3 results for all your key phrases, it all helps produce clients and traffic. But now we're going to go into the more detailed and complicated area of how do we make AI take note of us? We're a salon, we're in a big city, we want to be in all those answers. How do we get Google to go, that's the best website? Right, so we're going to go on to schemas, which is structured data and frequently asked questions. So let's go on to the next slide. Schema. You may never have heard of this word. It's structured data, and I'm going to explain what it means. So every night, Google, the massive engine, searches the whole of the internet, every website, every page, every word, and tries to make sense of it. So if it's in Birmingham, it could be looking through all the websites in Birmingham and trying to index them all and trying to work out what each website is specializing in, offering. Because if somebody types in laser hair removal Birmingham, it needs to know where to send them. So it needs to understand what it thinks is the best website out there for that answer. What Schema does is try to make it really easy for Google, because we structure things on the website to say, here's the information you need, carefully structured, because you're a robot, you're a machine. If we structure it carefully, you'll read it really quickly, you'll understand it really well, you'll put us at the top because we are the best website that gives you the information. So this little image that I found on the internet describes that. We're trying to make it easy for Google to understand what you've got by structuring the information. And I'm going to show you actual examples of it in a minute. But this structured data, or schema as it's called, is for many, many things. Reviews, client reviews, if they're on your website, should be a schema, a structured data. In other words, we put the reviews on your website, but Google needs to want it skimming through it a million miles an hour, go, that's a review, that's a review, that's a review. And it can see the review title, the description, the stars, the rating, the person, because it's structured. The data on your website, each review is structured carefully. So at breakneck speed, Google can pick them all up and go, I've got all the reviews from that website. The same with frequently asked questions. I'm going to show you some examples, but every page, every important page on our websites now will have questions and answers. Questions that clients ask, answers that we give them. Questions that Google gets asked and the answers, because that's helping the AI engine. I find in the questions and the answers that I'm facing. So that's my favorite website in Birmingham for that question, because I can see the structure of the questions and answers. Products, services, again, full detail, prices, availability, everything to do with if you're selling retail products, everyone can be put on there with a full detailed schema. In other words, structured information about the product. And possibly one of the most important one is the local business schema. In other words, we're defining to Google, this is a business, it's located there, the geolocation, its map coordinates, its opening hours. In fact, I'm going to show you an actual live, and just click through to this schema. This is the schema organization website. It's not on your screen. Let me just change the share screen. I have to remember to do this. The schema organization website. Takes a second to come up. Here we go. This is the organization that runs these structured data schemas. And they list all the things you can have a schema for: events, health conditions, organizations, everything, local businesses, restaurants. But local businesses, this is the kind of information structured on your website that Google can read quickly because it's all structured. The currencies, your opening hours, how payments are accepted, your address, your aggregate ratings for reviews, what awards you've got, your brands. It goes on, emails, employees, it goes on and on and on and on, so that Google really knows where you are, what you do, what services, everything about you at really fast speed. That's a local business. But also within local businesses, we can go further and go into health and beauty with even more questions and answers about the business, or we can go even further in health and beauty and set up a local business schema, get to the bottom, for all of these things: a beauty salon, a day spa, a hair salon. So we can specifically say to Google, this is a hair salon, and there's everything you could possibly want to know about that salon, because we're trying to make it easy for Google to go, that's the best business website, Google profile, questions and answers, business information. If we serve it all up on a plate, Google's going to take it and put you at the top. And that's what we're working on for this domination. So let me go back to, right, I've got the right screen. So this is this, and there are more schemas. I'm going to show you some live examples, I think now. Show you some live schemas, what a schema looks like when it's on the internet. So let me go back to a different screen, and I'm going to go to apple pies, which might sound an odd example, but a recipe is a schema. There are hundreds of schemas for all sorts of things, but recipes are one. Hotels are one, cars are one, but recipes are one. So Google has gone to these places and pulled in all the information for apple pies and put them on as the answer on Google, because it's structured. It knows all the information, ingredients, cooking time, pictures, the lot. So that's a schema for recipes pulled into Google. Let's now look at one that more relates to you. Let's look at one at jobs. Jobs, for me, is a very important schema for salons. If you've got a vacancy, have it on your website, structure it as a job schema. In other words, Google, when it's scanning all the websites in London, will have spotted that these businesses have got a job listing and all the details related to it, what the vacancy is, what the salary is, where it is, etc. And then it puts you, this is for Salon Jobs London. So the competition for that is enormous. DK UK, one of our clients, is in the top 3 there. And that's on their website. If you look, the other 2 are actually going to Indeed and Jobs Today. DK UK, which is not a big salon, that's coming directly from their website. If we look at the other listings for jobs in London, so there's DK UK number 3. There's our client, Stephen Young, number 4. There's another client of ours, Gusto. There's another client of ours, Kevin Joseph. So out of all the salons in London, we are dominating results, and actually on their websites, not on job listing sites. So that's a really good example of getting really good structured information on your website can feed into something really important, like somebody searching for Salon Jobs London. If you're up the front there, you're going to get a lot of clicks through the website, and you're not paying for it. You know, this is not advertising. This is not going to cost you money. I can just see at DK UK, Daniel's just said great work. Daniel's here on the webinar, and that's his salon. So, but this is important. Most salons want more staff. Having your Google structured job on your website means Google can pick it up and highlight you. Let's look at a couple of others quickly. Edinburgh. See, there's an advert at the top by Indeed. So Indeed, but these aren't adverts, these are free. And they're right at the top, McGill's. So it shows you how you can dominate these results. I'm just going to take a sip of water in case Sarah wants to jump in.
Yeah, there are some questions coming in, and we will have questions at the end. So I've just spotted the questions there in the chat, and we will pick up on as many of those as we can. So thank you.
So I've shown you how structured data schemas can get pulled off your website into a job, into an apple pie recipe. But here's now schemas on the website themselves, structuring the data so that when Google comes here to this client, Tom's Barbers, they do hair replacement systems. So I talked about the standard SEO. This is evident, you know, he's got a great page about his hair replacement system. Lots of information. This is SEO. Lots of really good before and after images, a great website that by itself is going to rank at the top of Google. But to push it further, structured reviews. These will all be structured data. So Google will see there's 3 reviews on that page and it can read them. And down the bottom, FAQs. Really important, frequently asked questions. I mentioned these as being one of the important structured data. Google can read this quickly and go, that page has got all the questions and all the answers that I really need. So that'll push this to the top of all the search results, not just the website. The idea is to dominate Google in all places. Let's look at another one. This is another example of a great web page which has great SEO embedded within the website. In other words, lots of content, but overlaying it now is the new AI focus, starting with often what we start with now is what we call keynotes or key takeaways. Quick introduction to Google. This is what you're going to find on this page. Then lots of information, then embedded reviews, structured, then frequently asked questions, all about balayage. So again, this is aiming to impress the client, because don't forget, the client is the one we're aiming for in this. So you want to tell a good story, you want to use great images, you want to really tell your story, but we have to impress Google first. We want to be top when people are searching anything to do with balayage or hair color in this area. This page needs to be served up to clients, and then we tell a great story. I think there is one other. This is Anthony James, which is one of the examples that Sarah used in Halifax for showing how they appeared in all the results. Again, key notes right at the beginning, lots of great information on the page, their own images to tell their own story, FAQs and reviews. So that's how you structure, how we use structured data actually on the websites to make sure that we're delivering great content for Google. I've got one more example. This example that Sarah showed of an AI answer to autumn hair colors. Let me click through to the actual page itself, because you'll see why that page is right at the top. There's the quick takeaways, which Google loves now. There's all the information that gives it great SEO. There's the customer reviews. There's the FAQs. And the FAQs are structured. You have to make sure that they're put on the website in a way that Google spots immediately. FAQs, question, answer in a structured way. And that's it. That is what we do in action to dominate search. So we're coming up to 36 minutes. So let's now perhaps summarize where you go with this. We've shown you how it appears. We've shown you how we do it with structured data and really good SEO and your Google profile. And we've shown you the amazing results we're getting from some long-term clients. So this is the bit that kind of tells you how you now pick it up with the ball and run with it or contact us. This is how you start. First of all, make a list of your phrases. Start off small, perhaps you'll have 10 phrases. It might be salon-related, hair extensions, balayage, Botox, injectable, lashes. Your phrases, make a list of them. Go on your mobile phone or go on your computer. See where you appear, or if you appear, in all of those things. So the Google AI result at the top. Does your website come up first? Is your Google profile in the first 3 on the map pack as it needs to be? Once you've done that, and if you're in the salon or the clinic, step outside the door and go for a walk. Do the same thing in 100 meters. Do the same thing in 500 meters, because your clients are not sitting in your salon when they're searching. They're outside. They're in the city. They could be miles away. So when you get home, and if you live a little distance, look again. How do you appear? It's likely you will be disappointed in the results unless you're a Salon Guru client and already have a website that's performing incredibly well. You're likely to probably think that this is not good enough and we need to do something about it. So make a note of the results. Where do you rank for all these phrases at different distances? And then have a plan to improve each of the things. If it's your website, you need to improve the content. We've shown you what a great page looks like. If you want a great page about microneedling, if you want to be number one for microneedling, you need to write a great informative SEO page on your website. If you want to be number one on the Google profile, you need to talk about microneedling there too, regularly. If you want to be in the AI results, you need to go back to your website on that great page and do all the structured things, reviews, FAQs, keynotes at the beginning. That's how you dominate all parts of Google, all searches, all answers. It wants to be your business. So that's how we do this. We do it for a living. You know, you can do a lot of this yourself. Most of our clients don't because they're just too busy and they ask us to do it for them. So if you want to speak to me, or my email address is here, info@salonguru.net. I'm happy to have a chat. We're happy to come up with some kind of bespoke plan for you. But the starting point is have the conversation and know more about your own results. So you've got a clear idea how good or not good you are. And for those who are not Salon Guru clients, a great way to start on our website, top right corner, get a free rank report. We will send you, for you, in your town, in your area, a rank report for about 100 phrases to show you how you appear on the Google website results. It's a really important starting point. Our salons, our clients, get those all the time. And they know that's one of the key things we measure constantly, our success. How well does that salon rank on Google? So this was that slide I showed at the beginning, and I'm showing it again now. It is a lot of work. We eat, sleep, and breathe this. There's 24 of us on our team. This is what we do all the time. But it's not worth doing unless the reward is enough. And the rewards we see can be enormous. You've got to aim to dominate your area for all the search results, and then you can get the big rewards. Right, Sarah, questions?
Yeah, I've got some really great questions here. So people are asking, so if I already have a salon that ranks really well and maybe I'm using your Google Business Profile Management service, am I covered or do I need anything else?
Yes, the AI is another level on top. So, you know, we didn't do all this structured data 2 years ago. We've been doing it for these clients that I showed you the amazing results because it takes time. We have to revisit every page on every website we've written and add that level of extra, it's like machine read information, keynotes at the top, FAQ structure, review structure. So the idea is to, once you've got a great website, you can push it again with the AI results. If you don't have a great website, that's your starting point. So different salons will be on different clinics, be on different points of that journey. Some of you may need a better website. Some of you might have that and need a better Google profile. Some of you may have both of those, therefore need the AI overlay of really structured data. But the way you'll find out is having a conversation. Talk to us. We're happy to have that conversation.
Yeah, because it is bespoke to each. So you are maybe halfway there, but you do need a little bit to, get you even better results. Right. So what then happens to my business if I don't do anything?
You'll be complaining that you don't have enough clients. This is for most of our clients, the biggest way that they get new business is through now better SEO, website being everywhere, Google profile performing well. That is the cornerstone of all of our most successful salons. They will say, this is what's changed my business. So if your business isn't changing, or perhaps it's going downhill, this is the thing to grapple with. A big advert in the paper costs you a fortune and probably won't work. Everything else you try, it's so disappointing because we've all done this. We've tried things over the years. The nice thing about digital marketing, it's measurable. We know how many extra people go to the website. We know how many of those people convert into a booking. So it's important You're going to put time and effort into something, do it something like this where you can track the outcomes. So doing nothing, one of your competitors probably will do something. We'll have a better website, we'll sort out their profile, we'll start tackling AI, and we'll dominate the results.
Okay, so I'm sure a lot of people are thinking this. So AI is changing rapidly. So will it keep changing, and will people need to keep changing their websites as a result?
I think it'll keep changing, but I think what happens will be a slightly different way that we serve information. I think this idea of serving up information for the robot, which is effectively what we're doing, we're packaging your website in a structured way that the robots can read it really quickly. Now the robots will now start doing more clever things, but we still want to package that information. So I think this is the first big step. I haven't got a crystal ball, so I don't know what will happen in 5 years' time. I have a feeling the internet will be a very different thing again. But all you can do, you can either do what we do and learn everything there is to do and apply it, or you use somebody like us, who's our job to find the answers and give it to our clients. Our clients don't have to spend countless hours on AI websites trying to find out how to do it. We do it for them and show them the results with. Make sure that everything you do is trackable with numbers. How well is it working? Is it working for me?
Okay, got a couple more questions. Okay, here's one that's popped up. How long should it take to see the results in AI search once people sign up for our supercharged AI service?
I think each part of it has slightly different timescales. When people get a new website, the results, you and I see this all the time, because we launch probably several a week. A website appearing at the top of Google can happen really quickly. Within a month, you can get really dramatic results in a month. Within the first year, we're often talking to clients about 100% increase in web traffic. The Google profiles take a bit longer because we're constantly trying to persuade Google that that profile, that business listing on the map pack, is the one that should be at the top. And it can often take a few months of constant pressure from us, constant content to push that forward. AI can be really, really fast because Google indexes nearly every night. So if we put really good AI content on a page, it's likely to have been seen within 3 days. And as long as that page was already in existence, Google will see this updated page with the new information within 3 days. So you can start appearing in those AI results very, very fast, within days.
Right. Okay. This is a big one. What's this going to cost?
It'll vary depending on who you are and what needs doing. If you're an existing Salon Guru client and we're already doing a great website for you, are we looking after your Google business profile? If we're not, that is a separate thing that takes some hours a month, typically 2 to 3 hours a month, to look after your Google business profile. That's per location. If you're a Salon Guru client who we've got the GBP, would look after the Google profile, and you want the AI, that's typically another hour or two a month to revisit the website and go through page by page. It hasn't all be done in one go. It's a plan for this year to add this level of complexity to your website, an extra level of detail. If you're not a Salon Guru client, we want you to look where you are now. Do you have a website? Is it any good? Does it have content? How's your Google profile? Do you even have access to your profile? That's often an issue. So it'll be different depending on each client, and we're happy to talk. It doesn't have to cost a fortune, and it can be done over time, but it's something you can't just ignore.
Okay. Any more questions? Anybody out there? Because no, I don't think that's it. So, yes.
Well, thank you everybody for joining us. Some of you will probably be watching this as a recording. We hope to send this out in the next couple of days, but with some tips and guides and links to some of the things we've mentioned. Please ask for a free rank report on our website, a Google rank report. If you've not got a website from us, that's a great starting point from you. And let's book a conversation. It'd be nice to talk.
Fantastic.
Right.
Thank you,
Thanks,
everyone.
everybody. See you again soon. Bye.